You there, Michael?
Hi, Dave, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, everybody. A little late start here to the broadcast this evening, but this is the Autumn Wind NFC Championship. Let me call up the card image here and the so far today, and we should be good to go. So we already had our AFC matchup a little earlier. We'll give a recap on that here momentarily, but this is the NFC Championship, and tonight we are watching the second seed New Orleans Saints, which is coached by Gene LaFleur, taking on the Shreveport Steamer, and they are coached by Rick Byrons. The Saints are the number 2 seed in the NFC, and Shreveport is the Cinderella 6th seed out of the NFC. They have finished with but it kind of doesn't tell the story. They did finish with 10 wins this year. New Orleans with 12 wins. New Orleans looks like they had the first possession, and they are working their way towards the Shreveport end zone. They have the ball now at the 11. I'm joined by Eagles head coach and longtime broadcaster Dave Szymanski is in the lobby with us tonight. We'll see if New Orleans can poke this one through, and then we'll put Dave on the broadcast here momentarily. So there's a 9-yard pickup. That'll put the ball at the 3. Matt Ryan is under center for the New Orleans Saints. Again, another one of these clubs that has a top-level defense, barely allowing just over 2 touchdowns per game. And on the outside, they don't exactly have the highest quality of wide receivers here. Shepard on one side and Quentin Cephas on the other, who is kind of an afterthought, actually, there in Jacksonville. Now they've gone to a full house formation. A lot of no-names on this team. Now, Lamont Murray is widely known as a solid back when it comes to getting yards close to the goal line. He's really more of a goal line and a short yardage back. He checks into the ball game. It's now 3rd and goal at the 2. Ryan took it and could not put it into the end zone. So this is kind of a important 3rd down here. If Shreveport can hold them to 3, they've got to be thrilled with that. There's Ryan Griffin at tight end. And Ryan's going to look for White, and it is incomplete. And he's not going to even go to think about going forward here. He's going to go ahead and put points on the board. So New Orleans is successful on their first drive, picking up 3. But Shreveport holds, so they've got to be happy with that. So now Rick Byrons is going to take over. Let's look at his offense here real quick. That's Josh Allen, the all-world quarterback from Buffalo, along with Aaron Jones. So that's quite the 1-2 combination. Adam Thielen, who was the hero of their last playoff victory, on one side, and you've got Deshaun Jackson on the other, who is, of course, that deep threat. And that's Tyler Higbee. So they've got a lot of weapons here. Shreveport does. So they got to be happy holding them to 3. And Dave Szymanski, if you want to do a little bit of play-by-play here and see how it sounds, there's a long pass that is incomplete. And so it's 3rd down. And so, Dave, if you want to do some play-by-play here and see how it sounds, give it a shot.
Okay, let me know if the microphone's working okay. It's 3rd and 10 now. New Orleans takes the defensive stance here. They were the number 2 scoring defense, Michael, and the Shreveport was number 4 scoring defense. So we got 2 defensive teams here. 3rd and 10 with a 3 white set, and the pass is incomplete. Can you hear that? Michael, can you hear my audio? There's a punt. And it goes down to the 12-yard line. New Orleans takes over, leading 3-0 first period. Michael, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's all right. Go right ahead.
You're breaking up on me, Michael. I don't know if this audio is going to work. There's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. New Orleans, 2nd and 12. Can you hear me okay, Michael, or not?
It's coming through a little clearer than the other night, but it's still kind of garbled. But we'll give it a shot and see how long we can make it last.
Okay, let me know. If it's not working, we just I'll just back out of here. So don't worry about it. Second and 10 now. Woodies got the ball 12, and there's a little flat pass that goes for 5 yards, and we've got a 3rd and 5. New Orleans really would like to pick up this first down and at least ensure some field position here. Otherwise, Shreveport's going to have it in a good spot. 3rd and 5. We have 2 tight ends. Shepard split wide left, Cephas to the left. As I said, Matty Ryan under center. 3rd and 5 from their own 17. Jean LaFleur, the coach of the New Orleans Saints, with the ball. And there's a 7-yard pickup on a flat pass with black dice. The first down for New Orleans. Let's know if you have any stats there, Michael, okay?
Okay. All right.
Saints with the first down. And there's a short gain for Ernest Johnson, a really good card. I'm guess wrong. He gets all the way out to the 40-yard line for the Saints. First and 10, 3:36. This is the National Football Conference Championship of Autumn Wind. These are the last 2 teams standing in the National Conference. Shreveport won the House Division with a 10-6 record. Saints, we have 3 teams in our division, Michael, that were eligible for the playoff. Here's a 5-yard pickup on a off tackle play. Cleveland Browns were the number 1 seed in the National Conference, but they got knocked off. So here the Saints are playing Shreveport. First down, Shreveport 47-yard line. The Saints picked up an 8-yard on a flat pass by Brian. And it's now New Orleans driving again in Steamer territory. James Wyden with Davis Murray at the backs. There's the blocking back, but only picks up a yard. 2nd and 9 for the Saints. It's Shreveport 46. Pros set here. National Conference Championship for Autumn Wind. Rick Byron's going to the Shreveport Steamer. Jean LaFleur, the Saints. There's a flat pass. A 3rd and 2 at the Shreveport 39. We have the number 4 scoring defense with the Steamer versus the number 2 scoring defense for the Saints. 1:12 to play, 3rd and 2 at the Shreveport 39. Off tackle by Murray. He gets out 4 yards at first down. Continual drive here. Any stats for us as the first period is almost coming to an end, Michael? Not sure if Michael can hear me or not. We're almost over the first period. Saints have a first down at the 35 of the Steamer. Still with the pro set. Off. There's a attack with Murray. Gets 5 yards. Lucky back. Couldn't quite handle that. He did pick up 5 for 2nd and 5 to the 30. Murray and White the backs. Wayne Griffin the tight end for the Saints. Shepard flanker to the right. Cephas White out to the left with 6 on 2nd and 5. There's a sideline pass to Shepard for 6 yards and first down at the Shreveport 24. Saints have a 3-point lead. We're in the second period now. Michael, can you hear me? Any first quarter stats? Yeah.
Hey, Dave, if you wouldn't care when you have a second, take a look at the text I just sent you.
Okay. He's at 5. Oh, Michael.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to mute you on this here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Turn the volume up on the cell.
2nd and 5. There's a flat pass that is going to get a first down at the 12-yard line as the Saints continue to drive.
Much, much better.
All right. Well, Michael's making some technical adjustments here to our broadcast. Good job, Michael.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line, still with a pro set. And there's a short gain that looks like it could get into the end zone on an off tackle. And it is. Touchdown, New Orleans Saints.
Dave, you have volume on your phone. Can you turn your end up just a little bit?
Okay. Is that any better?
A little bit. Can you a little bit more? Just max it out.
Okay. That's all I got.
Gotcha. Well, we'll take what you got.
Okay, the extra point's good, and it's 10-0 Saints lead here in the second period. 12:18 to play. Shreveport takes back over at the 24-yard line. And Michael, first quarter stats for us.
I'm going to work on this here just a little bit. We'll get to you in just a moment, all right? We're just still working on making sure we get this just right. Almost there, buddy.
Okay. There's an off tackle, lost the yard. 2nd and 11 for the Steamer. And here's an end run, which gets nothing. The offensive end couldn't make the block, and that's a 3rd and 11 for Shreveport at their own 24-yard line. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Beasley joins Deshaun Jackson and Adam Thielen. There's the fly that Deshaun Jackson, and it just misses. Rick went for the big one.
He did.
Didn't connect with Jackson. There's a punt, 46 yards. McLeod brings it back to the 49-yard line, and the Saints take back over again as they keep pressing this Steamer here, right at the just short of the midfield stripe.
Now, Dave, let me ask you one more favor. See if you can turn down the volume on your computer.
Okay, let me see. How is that? Does that sound any better?
As long as I don't echo through, you should be fine.
Okay. There's an off tackle play, which will get 7 yards. 2nd and 3 moves into Steamer territory at the 44-yard line. Latavius Murray now, the lone setback. No, they go back to the pro set with Ernest Johnson and James White. Second and 3, and it's an off tackle. Only picks up 2 yards, so 3rd and 1 now at the Shreveport 42-yard line. Pro set, Murray and White. Steve, the number 4 scoring defense in autumn wind. 3-4 defense for Shreveport. This is a screen right to James White. They were keen, and this is a 12-yard gain. White picks up 12 down to the Steamer 30.
You know, the shame of it is, Dave, if you look at Shreveport's team, where their strength is basically that secondary. There are 5s and 6s throughout that secondary. But against a team like this, it's not really going to matter. It's not a club that really throws downfield. They don't even have the weapons on the outside to, you know, they're not going to be thrown to their outside guys hardly at all, basically. This is going to be a game that's going to be decided with the 7 up front.
I think that's an excellent point, Michael, because that is the strength of the Steamer, and I think John knows that, and he's still working around that.
Mm-hmm.
First down. Quick slant to Griffin, 12 more yards. Saints down to the Shreveport 18-yard line. They still lead 10-0. Uh-oh, we have a fumble.
Oh, gosh.
But Saints pick it up. Get 6 yards off of that. 2nd and 4 at the 12. Still a pro set for New Orleans. There's Latavius Murray right up the middle.
Yeah, this is a situation again where we see one of these clubs that has a traditional running back placed at fullback because he has that, according to autumn wind rules, you can play a running back with a 4 run block rating as a fullback, and some teams have been able to take advantage of that. It's nice to have 2 running backs on the field at the same time, even if White is more of a pass receiver specialist.
Speaking of which, they threw it to White, and he dropped it. But that's it. That's an excellent point, Michael. And those little nuances have to be adjusted as you go from league to league as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Understand. 2nd and goal from the 7. Off tackle again with Johnson. 3 yards, bringing it to a 3rd and goal at the 4. Michael, you make the call.
I think this is going to be a run to Johnson here. I think he'll look for Johnson and just play it safe, and he'd be happy to get 3 here, but I'm thinking a run up to Johnson up the middle.
Well, he went with White instead. He should have gone to Johnson because that was an 8-yard loss. Oh, my. Looks like we'll go for 3 here for New Orleans. Leading 10-0, looking for 13.
Now, Shreveport's going to get the ball here to begin the 3rd quarter, so this is a super important drive. Shreveport would be happy to stick anything on the board here. Their offense has been in neutral so far, and it's no surprise. New Orleans has a very tough defense.
Very true, and I think that's exactly what Rick's going to look for. Maybe eat up the clock here, Michael, just to get something on the board without the Saints getting a chance to get the ball back.
Mm-hmm. You know, but you can't. I see why Deshaun Jackson's out there. You can't be afraid at this point. He's got a 4 guarding him, and he's got a 4 there at free safety, so he can't be conservative here. You've got Deshaun Jackson out there for a reason, so I don't see any reason for him not to continue to try to take advantage of that. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops him on one of these plays here before the half.
No, that's exactly what I was worried about when I played with Rick. Michael, that's exactly how you got to think, because
you look at the gains on that card. Went to Thielen that time for 13, but yeah, that Jackson is a threat. Even though he's just a 4 on the bomb total, but those yardage. There's an off tackle, and he goes for 3 yards.
Yeah, and to be very honest, I can't see the reason even for throwing a flat pass. First of all, Allen's flat pass card isn't great, and you're staring at a true anomaly here in Autumn Wind. How often do you see 6s, not just 1, but 2 of them? That's super, super rare. So you don't want to pick on either one of those 2 sides. So either you're going to pick on that 4, and Allen can't throw flat passes very well to begin with. So you almost have to throw downfield here with him or just get him off balance with runs. And that's what he's doing. That's a good call. It's another run, guessed wrong. But he shouldn't throw a flat pass this whole game. I think he's just basically just going to run it and chuck it.
That is a great observation, Michael, because that is exactly what he's up against. Those 6s are dangerous. And you're right on Allen's card. On all counts, Michael. There's a crossing pattern. Thielen with a guess a run. It's a good chance of 14 yards, but we have a possible fumble.
Oh, no. Gosh, no. Hold on to this ball. Oh, whew, there. Yeah, you hate to see a drive like this get tripped up with a turnover like that. This has been too good of a drive. So, you want him to have the opportunity to put points on here and not have a cheap fumble like that. So it looks like he's on his way.
Yep, Steamer held on to it. 1st and 10 at the same 22-yard line with 2:24 to play, and there's an off tackle for 8 yards out of the 14-yard line as the Steamer looks to get back in this game. As Michael reminded us, they get the ball first in the 3rd period. 2-minute warning. 13-0. Any stats for the first half so far, Michael?
We'll look at him here at halftime. But, something else to look at, too, just as impressive on the one side where we have 2 linebackers at 6. Here we've got a guard and a tackle at 6 on his side as well. So he has the ability to basically run and then throw it short and deep. He honestly shouldn't be calling flat pass at all, in my opinion, during this game, unless he's going to pick on that 4. And with Allen, there's really no point in that. Just trust your guys and run it or chuck it deep, one of the 2. Now he's put himself here in a position at 3rd and 2. What do you think here, Dave?
I think he runs Jones.
All right.
I think he's going to run Jones twice, as a matter of fact, if he doesn't get it the first time.
I think he runs Allen here.
Usually waits for the longer distance for Allen. We're both wrong. It's a quick end to Juwan Johnson for 7 yards and a 1st and goal.
So I didn't see. Did he move the 6 up there? I didn't see. Now, if he moves the 6 up there, that totally makes sense because the only guy that comes up there is a 4. So maybe that's what he anticipated. Either way, good call. Drive continues.
1st and goal, 1:45 in the first half.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Oh, my. Picked off in the end zone. He threw to Johnson again. One too many times, and that really changes the whole tenure of this game.
That's a terrible way to end a drive. I mean, obviously, but especially against a club that is so stingy on defense and, looking at the potential to cut this to a 1-score lead with the ball coming into the half. That's a crusher, but they will get the ball here to begin the 3rd quarter. Now, if they can just hold them here for this last drive. Interesting that he's got Murray in there instead of Dearness Johnson. He's got plenty of carries left with Johnson, and with 1:07 to go and 2 timeouts. I'm just a little surprised with that. Yeah, maybe he's just preserving the carries for the 3rd and 4th.
Well, Murray ripped off 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Saints get up 9. Still with a pro set, White and Murray in there. These He's got 2 timeouts left, and there's a quick slant to Griffin. Ooh, an interception possibility, but that one drops harmlessly. But it brings up a 3rd down and 1 with exactly 60 seconds to play in the first half.
Yeah, this isn't a team that can get the ball downfield, basically. Again, not very many weapons. That's kind of why I just wonder why he wouldn't have Johnson in there with a crack at short gains every time and getting some chunk plays to make his way downfield. Now it's turned into a situation where he's got to convert here or give the ball back.
Well, there was a run call, but he threw it the 6. He beat the rim and got was 47 with a timeout remaining, seconds to go. This is going to be danger time for the Shreveport Steamer as they get off the scoreboard here, as they're already down 13-0. Still, he goes with a pro set. Like you said, he doesn't have a lot of deep threats, but he just grinds it out. John is a very patient coach. There's an off tackle to Murray, but that ain't going to get much. In fact, he loses 2. Second and 12, 22 seconds. Saints still have their timeout left. Shreveport has all 3. Now he comes out with 4 wides. Nope, he goes back to the pro set with 22 seconds to go.
Yeah, here's your potential run to Dearness Johnson. You have 1 timeout left. Maybe this is the play that he looks to crack one and get in field goal range.
Yeah, I agree with you. You called it, Michael. Now he's at the 46. Used it his last time out. 15 seconds to go. 3rd and 3. I think he's got to go airborne here, Michael.
Yeah, unless he puts that, that's the thing about Johnson. He's good between the tackles, but around the end, he's not good. And so that's not going to help you when it comes to stopping the clock. You can't stop the clock on an off tackle run. So now his only shot is a short pass where he could get out of bounds. He needs to get to the 35 here to have a realistic chance. So it's either this or an end run and hope that he can get out of bounds.
There is the nuances you find out from Michael Reeves when he colors these broadcasts. Excellent observation, Michael.
Thank you.
There's a slant to Rudolph, falls harmlessly to the ground with 8 seconds to go. 4th and 3. And I don't think he can reach the goalpost from here, Michael. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
I don't believe Justin Tucker's on his team, so I don't think a 63-yard field goal is in his future.
Or Tom Dempsey.
That's correct. At this point, he could try a short pass and maybe he could probably get it to the 35 or 36 and give himself a chance, but that's assuming that he can get out of bounds.
That's about, his only option, I'd see, other than gaffing it.
Yeah, so he turned it over on downs there.
Yeah, he tried to throw a flat pass, which is a dangerous call.
Yeah, especially if that's kind of interception prone. That's kind of asking for a potential. If you want to kill the clock, you kind of throw it to the middle. But again, it's going to end either way unless he gets that first down. So I guess he's got 1 shot at it here.
1 second remaining. Shreveport at the 46. They might try something deep just to give it a shot. New Orleans leads with a second left on the first half. Rick's deciding which guy to throw to here, and he goes the draw play with Jones. And that will end the first half with the New Orleans Saints 13, the Shreveport Steamer nothing. This is the NFC Championship game for Autumn Wind. New Orleans Saints coached by Jean Lafleur and the Shreveport Steamer coached by Rick Byrons. And Michael Reeves will give us some stats for the first half.
Sure. Not a lot of scoring. Basically, New Orleans started out with possession, drove the length of the field, and scored on a Gonzalez 19-yard field goal. The drive was stymied at the 2. They chose not to go for it and instead put points on the board. First score, let's see, 12 minutes to go here in the second quarter, just entering the second quarter. Dearness Johnson, 12-yard run. They extended the lead to 10-0. And New Orleans, near the close of the second quarter, had another drive, but Shreveport stiffened up and held the Saints to a field goal. So that's where we are at 13-3. Gonzalez a 25-yard kick and a 19-yard kick. Shreveport immediately took possession there at the end of the second, but threw an interception in the end zone. They were on their way to knocking this lead down, but unfortunately this is where they sit at 13-0. So a shutout in the first half for New Orleans Saints. Again, no surprise, a stingy defense that allows just over 2 touchdowns per game. Josh Allen, lousy first half here, 4 for 12 for 39 yards. So you're hoping that while he can't complete passes like he should, maybe he's going to pick it up on the ground. He has 1 carry for 0 yards. Definitely has to pick it up in the second half if the Steamer want any chance of competing in this game. Jones, 6 carries for only 24 yards. On the other hand, we have Dearness Johnson here, 8 carries for 58 yards. He also has a touchdown. Latavius Murray, 8 carries for 29 yards. Matty Ice, very efficient, 15 of 21 for 134 yards. His longest gain was 28 yards, and that one went to James White. Let's see, who caught that ball? Yeah, it was James White. So James White has the longest pass reception of the game, 28 yards. Adam Thielen, who was the hero in the divisional championship game, quiet so far, 2 catches, only 27 yards. But, of course, Allen has only completed 4 passes in this contest. Neither of the 2 clubs have tallied a sack so far. And the lone interception belongs to Eric Rowe for New Orleans. So hoping for better things here in the second half, and we already are underway. The Saints with the ball as we begin play here in the third quarter.
Thank you, Michael. And it looks like the Saints have the.
Yeah, I'm going to review this to make sure. It's quite possible that because I missed a couple minutes into the broadcast that it's very possible that Shreveport started with the ball but had a 3 and out. So I'm going to go back here and double check and look.
And additionally, on those stats that Michael rattled off for us in the first half, the Saints ran 41 plays from scrimmage to 19 for the Steamer. So it was a dominant possession first half for the Saints, and they're up 13-0 with the ball on a 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. We've already burned just about 2 minutes of the third period.
Yeah, and New Orleans did get the kickoff. The plays we've missed, Latavius Murray, 2-yard pickup. Johnson, let's see what else we got here. Try to run through as fast as I can. Dearness Johnson, 2-yard pickup. There's Ryan Griffin's pass for a first down. Cephas, incomplete pass, and here we are, second down.
Okay, 2nd and 10. Still a pro set for the Saints. at their own 39-yard line. Shepard, flanker to the right. Cephas, split end to the left. Ryan Griffin is the tight end for him. And there's a square in to Sterling Shepard.
2 men in the zone. They didn't vacate the zone. They kept pretty much a base, and they had double teamed the outside receiver in Cephas. Excuse me, Shepard. Sorry.
Okay, 3rd and 10. So this will be a big stop for the Steamer.
3-3-5 defense. They're staying in their base with 2 tight ends. Staying in their base with 2 tight ends.
Murray's the back, 3rd and 10. John giving it a lot of fun. He goes the off-tackle draw to Murray, who gets the short gain, but it's the containment rule, and it stopped for just 8. So it's 4th and 2 at their 47. It looks like the Saints are going to have to punt. And that goes out of the end zone. And the Steamer takes over the 20 as that containment rule really saved him. And Steamer gets the ball back now with 12 minutes to play, trailing by 13.
Yeah, we're going to have a game freeze here, so we'll have to hop back in here momentarily. Let's see, 52-188.
Critical point here of the game now for the Steamer when we get back to play. The one chance they had to score, they threw an interception in the end zone. So now they're trying to muster some kind of drive to get back in this game in the second half. 2 very evenly matched teams and coaches. And here we are, 11:42. It's a 1st and 10 at the Shreveport 20. Jackson split to the left, flanker Thielen to the right. Split to the left. Aaron Jones the back, and it's off tackle to Jones. The guess is pass. And it gets just 2 yards. It's just 2 yards.
Hey, Dave, if you can see it, there's a volume setting on your computer in the lower right-hand corner. If there's any way you can figure out how to mute the volume on your actual computer, you won't get that echo that's coming back from me.
Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, how's that?
Well, I can't hear it from my side. It's up to you. There's
okay.
Yeah, let me open up the cards here. When the game crashes, everything disappears, so I'll set things back up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not hearing any of your audio now. I turned the mic off.
Okay, so that's good. All right, so you're just hearing me over the phone.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so if I respond right away, I won't overcut you then, right? But
Not a bit.
waiting.
Not a bit.
Okay,
You're right on it.
Beautiful. 2nd and 11. There's a 9-yard pickup on a flat pass. And it's a 3rd and 2 now as the Steamer moves into Saint territory. And you got to feel, Michael, this is 4-down territory, down 13 zip.
100%. Yeah, if you're going to throw that flash, I guess you're just going to pick on that 4. So that's what they decided to do. Got lucky that it was guessed wrong.
And there is a flat pass, but knocked away, defended by the 4 with a 4. And it's 4th and 2, and I think they're going to go for it.
Yep.
Okay, 4th and 2, 13-0, Saints trail. And it's going to be Jones the back, standard single setback. 4-3 defense, 4. This is a very important down. 4th and 2. The Saints 40. They got the 6s there at the linebacker, 1-4, and the 4's back there. Let's see if Rick does some gambling. And bingo, 5 yards off tackle by Aaron Jones. First down, Steamer.
Yeah, interesting that New Orleans called pass there. I'm not sure why they would have anticipated pass, but
yeah, interesting.
So
there was
there's
a 28-yarder off tackle by Jones down to the 7, and we might have a game here real soon. 7.5 to play, 13-0 Saints, but first and goal for the Steamer, the 7-yard line of the Saints.
You know, I'm not sure why he has Deshaun Jackson in there. He really can't catch a short pass. I wonder if there's anybody on the bench would be a better option.
Another nice observation, Michael. That's right. There's no reason to have Jackson's great in the middle of the field and downfield, but inside the 10, yeah, Jackson's not really a force there. There's got to be somebody that can catch it better. There was a dreaded 5 that came up with a -8. Josh Allen tried the end run, but Jean called run, and it's a 3rd and goal. Back out to the 15-yard line. We got 3 wide receiver. Beasley now comes in to join Jackson and Thielen with Jones in the backfield. 6:54, third period, big 3rd down call. 3rd and goal at the 15. 3-3-5 for the Saints defense. Oh, there's a screen.
Yeah, I think you're happy to get your 3 here because now Shreveport has proven on 2 consecutive drives that they've been able to move the ball successfully. And if it weren't for a terrible turnover, this would be a 1-score game right now. So I think Rick's got to start feeling a little bit better about his prospects for this game. Defensively, he's figuring things out, and he's now proven that he can move the ball down the field. Maybe he's figured out the formula. The question is there going to be enough time?
That's for sure, because now we're eating away at the 3rd period. Saints take over. This is probably a big set it down. Here's a hitch to Cephas. Incomplete on the interception number. That would have been biggie. 2nd and 10. Now, Jean has to start thinking about getting back the control of the game with a little ball control, because like we said, in the first half, it was 41-19 on plays. So 2nd and 10. Let's see what happens. Let's see how bold Rick gets on defense. Would you call run here, Michael, 2nd and 10?
On defense, I would, yes.
Let's see what happens. I think, yeah, and Deshaun sort of said runs it off tackle, but he can't get the block, and it's no gain, 3rd and 10. But you were right, Michael. He ran it.
That's a perfect option there for Dearness Jackson, and just unfortunately it was on the D card.
Yeah. Probably with a short gain on 9, right?
I believe so. Offensive tackle wasn't able to make the play.
Okay, here we have a big 3rd and 10 at the 27. Still a lone setback with White, Griffin, and Rudolph. We have 2 tight ends in now.
2 doubles.
There's a curl to Cephas. Incomplete. And we're going to have a punt here with 4.5 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Huber to punt it. That'll be a 49-yarder. Picked up with a 14-yard return out to good field position for Shreveport. A 38-yard line, 4:12 to play, 3rd period, 13-3. And as Michael said, looks like the Steamer is picking up some steam, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Good field position here. So that's 2 consecutive drives now that they've made their way into the Saints red zone. Just unfortunate that they're down 2 scores. Good double team there. Go big or go home. Looking for Deshaun Jackson. Incomplete. Nice call there for New Orleans Saints.
As Dennis Crowley would say, who I think is watching here, go big or go home. Well, Rick went big, and it was incomplete to Jackson. Now we have 2nd and 10 at 38. Gainwell is in there now. It's a pitch out to Gainwell. Oh, and he only got a yard because it was a 4 on the white dot.
Wow.
would have been a 30 potential 36-yarder, but now it's 3rd and 9 at the 39 for Shreveport. Beasley in, 3 wideouts, Jones the back, Higbee the tight end, and another big play, Michael.
Yeah, that was a really lucky break for the Saints. Only needed to be a 4.
3-3-5 for the Saints. Number 2 scoring defense in all the OSL. Crossing pattern to Beasley is incomplete, and Shreveport will have to punt with 3 minutes to play in the 3rd period. But we got a ball game here, 13-3, New Orleans. National Conference Championship for the right to play Montreal in the Hooper Bowl. There's McLeod with a run back at 23 yards. That was a nice return.
Mm-hmm.
And New Orleans gets good field. Poe at the 37. What do you think? Grinds it out here, Michael?
I think the Saints are going to do anything they can to just get this clock to tick away. I think he feels pretty fortunate now that he had a couple plays there that could have busted deep, and he dodged some more bullets again. But 2 of the last 3 drives have gone to red zone territory. He needs to crunch some time here. Shreveport's been playing very well defensively, making very, very nice calls.
There's a crossing pattern to and it beats the 5 for an 11-yard pickup. I was going to joke here to go to Cephas against the 6, but he goes with Shepard against the 5, and lo and behold, he rolls the 6 to beat him, and that gets to the 48-yard line and a first down for New Orleans. Yeah, these are not scary weapons that Jean throws out there, but he gets the job done.
Yep.
There's a flare to Murray for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 as the Saints move into Steamer territory at the 46. 2nd and 4. White and Johnson back there. There's a flare to the left to Johnson that gets this run, and it's a receiver and 18 yards for Ernest Johnson. You don't think of that as being a scary weapon, but 18 yards.
It's a good-looking guessed wrong pass card for sure. Lots of double-digit gains over there.
Yeah, no, that is a pretty nice card.
He doesn't catch it a lot, but when he does, it's going to go somewhere.
Yep. 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for New Orleans. Matty Ryan behind center. Murray and White. The pro set. It's off tackle to Murray. The guess is pass. The run is 5 yards off tackle. Down to the 23-yard line. We're almost through with the 3rd period. New Orleans clinging to a 13-3 lead, but driving. I'm Duke Szymanski along with Michael Reeves, and we're talking autumn win, National Conference Championship football. And Michael, it's been great how you've keyed all these broadcasts for us. So I'm sure people are out there enjoying it.
That's fun. When you're not doing play-by-play, you can kind of notice things a little bit more.
Yeah, your observations are so great. You don't have a chance to when you do them. There's a short gain on a line buck by Murray down 12 yards, gets inside. Where does he end up here after 12-yard gain?
About the 11.
Does that expend that takes care of the 3rd period with a score. New Orleans 13. There's a 2-yard flat pass. Inside the 10 at the 9-yard line, 2nd and 8. When you're at the 11, you don't want a 2-yard gain, Michael.
No, now the flat pass is taken away, so we're pretty much looking at a run, or you throw into the teeth of that defense with all those 5s and 6s.
And there's an off tackle by Johnson in the old dreaded. That's not dreaded. It's the what does Dennis call it? The bailout blocking back.
Yeah, I wish I remember. It was pretty clever.
It was. So that gains 1 yard. No, it loses a yard. So it's 3rd and 9 at the 10. Well, that was a good yard to lose, actually. That opens up the flat pass, makes Shreveport be a little bit more cautious with those linebackers.
This is the play of the game, in my estimation, for Shreveport. Oh, and they're not going to be able to do it. Look at that. DeErnest.
The draw play.
Oh, they do stop it
my.
because of the linebacker containment.
Oh,
So
the containment
that's
stopped
right.
it at the 3-yard line. 4th and 2. Field goal. Oh, yeah, the containment really saved that one. It's now 16-3 New Orleans as we're just getting started in the 4th period.
I mean, this is manageable now, 2 touchdowns. They go down more than 2 touchdowns. It's going to be a tall order for this club to come back. So there's still some life here.
There is. Gainwell the back now for Rick. Juwan Johnson is the blocking back. And there's the old brackets for a big gain out to the 37-yard line. First down, a good start for Shreveport. Still 12-18 to play. Shreveport, this is a critical drive, Michael.
I think this is essential. They get a touchdown on this drive.
Well, there's the bomb to Jackson. Gets 32 big ones all the way down to the 31-yard line. And we're starting to cook here in the hot steam of the Shreveport Steamer.
So it's funny. You wonder if New Orleans has been watching this broadcast. Gainwell has been a second-half all-star in his appearances, done very, very well in the 2 games in which he's played. And they kind of tripped him up there and crossed him up and got that long gain they've been looking for, trying to make that connection throughout the game, and they finally got it, was able to successfully flip the field. And now with the ball at the 22, 2nd and 1, things are looking very positive here for Rick and his Shreveport Steamer.
Yeah, just got 9 from Gainwell there. Gainwell, so now we got a 2nd and 1 at the 22. Might he go up top to Jackson? Then we pitch this out to Gainwell. There's another 13 yards as the Steamer just rolling down the field. Now they're at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal.
35 yards on only 4 carries for Gainwell.
Okay, Gainwell's still in there as a single setback at the 9-yard line. Higbee's the tight end. He likes to go to Higbee, but he's got a 6 on him. He likes to go Higbee, inside the red zone. But I'm thinking, and like you said earlier, Michael, I don't know what Jackson's doing in there for Rick.
You know, something here to think about. This is a lot of strat coaches who have Allen will run him here. I don't think we've seen an end run the entire game from Allen.
Well, this would be a good time for it. I agree with you. But there's a short pass to Juwan Johnson.
Incomplete on the 12. Blank on the 12.
Incomplete on the 12. 2nd and goal. I was thinking that Johnson might be the guy to go to but Thielen against a 4 is a 6. He's a really good possession receiver. So Thielen or Johnson again is my guess. Or the run to. Oh, there goes the brackets. Gainwell rolls into the end zone for the score. Let's see. Are we going to go for? Yeah, we'll probably go for the 1 point. It is good. And we have a 6-point game, Michael.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that drive did not take long. They again, it's aided, of course, by a pop down the field to Deshaun Jackson, but Gainwell had 3 carries of short gains, 10 yards or more on that drive. Except that last one would have been a 10-yard game, but he found the end zone after 9. So nice little comeback here has turned it into a 1-score game. How huge was it to hold that club to a field goal on that last drive? That was enormous. That run containment play that easily could have been a touchdown. Now we're looking at a 6-point game.
Huge. 11-yard pickup there. 1st and 10. New Orleans gets out to the 36. We have 9:18 to play. Interesting to see. It's a run call, but there's a button hook, and we get 9 yards out of this.
White die 6.
Gets New Orleans out to the 45-yard line, 2nd and 1. He's got the pro set with Johnson and White. Rudolph now is a tight end, not Griffin. Wonder why that. No, there's Griffin. I'm sorry, but he's in there for Rudolph. White and Murray now are the twin pro sets. There's a pass call. The nose tackle makes the play and drops him for a 1-yard loss. Big play
Off tackle run there. That 5 was able to make the play. So you look up front in Shreveport's defense, the heart of their defense is their back 4. Their secondary is fantastic, but you look up front and you see a lot of 4s there, but that lone 5 nose tackle was able to make the play.
Huge play here. 3rd and 2. White and Murray in here. And I know Rick likes to go all out on defense if he has to. I got a feeling he might do something, but he calls pass on this play.
Actually, that was an off tackle run.
Yeah,
you're right. Defense called pass, off tackle run. It was on the D card, so I guess it didn't matter. The tackle was able to make the block and move the chains. First down.
Interesting call by Rick. He would call pass on a big 3rd and 2. Huge
I was
play.
kind of thinking that too. I was kind of looking at a flat pass as well. He did bring up players to run support, so it was kind of a coin toss.
50-yard line, 1st and 10, 7.5 minutes to play in the game. The National Conference Championship game with the right to play the Montreal Alouettes in the Ooper Bowl. There's a pass call, and it's a sideline pass. Oh, the 5 beats the rating, and it's a 17-yard pickup down to the 33-yard line of Shreveport, 1st and 10.
Now, this is going to be a big series right here for Shreveport.
Huge, absolutely huge, because he can just by holding position here in the field probably can turn this into a 2-score lead. So Rick's got to play some solid defense, and there's a 10-yard pickup. Who did he throw that to?
He threw that to James White. That's his 7th catch of the game for 89 yards.
Wow. He threw a short pass to White to the 23, 6:18 to play. Both teams have all their timeouts.
So, again, this is a club that has 2 running backs who have a run block rating of 4. So you can put Lamont Murray at fullback, and you've got Johnson also playing fullback as well. And at running back, you basically have a pass receiving specialist who truly has shown up today, the leading receiver thus far for the Saints.
And there was a run call by Rick that held Murray to 1 yard. So it's 2nd and 9 at the 22. So Rick's realizing that he's going to have to make some real tough calls here on defense. There's another run call and another off tackle. And there's a blocking rating by the end. This ain't going to cut it. And it's a 0 gain for a 3rd and 9 now at the 22. And again, Michael, huge 3rd down play.
Yeah, I think if you're Shreveport at this point, I think he's doing the math in his head and realizing New Orleans doesn't want to turn this ball over. All they need to try to do is move this up maybe just a little bit more to get in field goal range, but more importantly, run that clock. If I'm Rick, I'm selling out everything here for the run, maybe even keying on White.
Although he's gotten the advantage of that containment rule and doesn't have to necessarily. But once again, Michael, your insights are brilliant as far as I'm concerned. I'm listening to you. I'm taking notes here. I could learn something coaching from you. There's a slant play. It's double teamed, incomplete.
Well, I'm not sure because had he followed my instincts, in fact, that was a brilliant call in the opposite direction. Had I called that on a run, it would have been a completed pass. Had it been I called pass, it would have been a completed pass. The only way to have stopped that was a successful double team. So great call by Rick. Unfortunately, the field goes through. So now he's really behind the 8 ball here. He's got to get downfield for a quick score. It can be a field goal, but he's got to get a quick score, put himself in a position where he can get an onside kick. Failing that, getting a 3 and out, but certainly an uphill climb at this point. But a great call nonetheless.
Agreed. And that roll of 10 just got the field goal done. It hit the crossbar and flopped over.
A double doink.
Yeah, it was a double. It hit one board. The other board fell over. 2nd and 5 as Jones runs for 5. And Rick's thinking, okay, he's going to be playing conservative. Maybe the prevent defense will allow me to motor down the field here. Let's see the battle of wits here. You took my screen away.
Now we're back.
Oh, there we go. Okay. 1st and 10. He got 8 yards on that play on an end run. That was Aaron Jones. Shreveport out to the 38-yard line, but tick, 3:36 to play. Shreveport needs to move. Will they look deep for Jackson at any time soon? 1st and 10. Shreveport has Jones. There's an end run and the tread at 5. Josh Allen. Look at those numbers, Michael, and he gets 5.
Yeah, that's tragic.
No, that is terrible.
That is tragic.
Oh, look at that card. The next worst is 5 yards on 11. Holy crap. 2nd and 10, and there's another end run, and he beats the rating. No, he doesn't beat the rating. Only gets 3 yards on that. 3rd and 7 now at the Shreveport 41-yard line. Of course, this is 4 down territory. He's got 3 wideouts in there. He might go with a flat pass right here to somebody. What do you think, Michael?
I think I think you're right, and that's what he did. And he got an interception split for his trouble.
I called that one, though, didn't I?
100%, you did.
But it's 4th and 7 now. Let's see what Rick does this day. He can't afford to try that again. He's going to have to go with the gusto. 4th and 7. Beasley, Higbee, Jackson, and Thielen. Okay, let's eliminate. Well, I'm not going to eliminate Jackson. He could go deep to Jackson. Beasley and Thielen would be his. He's going to go to one of those two, Beasley or Thielen. What's your choice?
We haven't seen a lot of double teams here. I say he goes to Thielen.
I'm agreeing with you. I short pass Thielen is Michael and Duke's call. Let's see what happens. What do we know, Michael? We're out of the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's to Aaron Jones. They're double teaming Thielen. Like
what do we
John
know?
was thinking like us, though.
Yeah.
So at least we're thinking like a good coach, Michael. You know, maybe we'll get there next year. Who knows? But it's taking over time for New Orleans at 2:24. Shreveport has all their timeouts. They can save some time before the half, get a timeout at the half, hold them, get a score and an onside kick, and we got a game. Off tackle, Ernest Johnson. The call is run, but the gain is a short gain. Guess right. Yeah. Oh, that that's the point at which you think, maybe this is not my night.
Probably not. He saved his last unfatigued carry for his best carry.
Oh, short gain. Guess right. Look at look at that card, the guess right, and how he got the short gain, and look at Josh Allen's guess wrong and run card and what he got. That's a big flip all.
You win some and you lose some. So, 2 minutes to go here. Things are looking pretty bleak. They do have all 3 of their timeouts, but another first down here is just about going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of runs here. Why don't you give us an early preview of the stats to this point, Michael?
Sure.
Because people are going to drop out when it's over, and we'll be able to catch them up on what's going on here.
So Josh Allen pretty lousy in the first half and didn't exactly pick up steam here in the second half.
What a bad line!
8 for 23. On the other hand, Matt Ryan keeps it going, as we'd mentioned. Not exactly the most solid quarterback, and yet, who are we seeing in the championship game here, barring calamity? Matt Ryan up against Ryan Tannehill, not exactly the marquee matchup that the NFL was looking for. Aaron Jones finished with 71 yards. Gainwell looking very good in the second half with 44 yards. Dearness Johnson, 84 yards. Lamont Murray, 64 yards. The game breaker to me, James White, 7 catches for 89 yards. Big game for Big Game James. So we'll just jump right back into the broadcast. There's a run up the middle that makes it 4th and 4. So basically after this field goal, if it goes through, Shreveport's going to know exactly what they need to do.
Yep.
Quick touchdown, quick onside kick, and another touchdown.
Play, but Shreveport's used up all their timeouts, so this is a tall order.
Tall order.
Rick's had a fine season to get this far with that team.
And we're a minute 37 away, well, less than 90 seconds away from an all-Canadian Ooper Bowl.
Well, that's right.
Beauty,
Eh?
eh?
Eh? And I think we've thrown in the towel here with an end run by Jones. Of course,
I think we're going to
just
rename this the Hoser Bowl. Anybody else?
good enough. 2nd and 9, a minute to play, no timeouts. Jean Lafleur and his New Orleans Saints look like they're going to advance to the Ooper Bowl versus Claude Turquette and his Montreal Alouettes. These are just two really fine coaches, and you know what, Michael? They're the kind of coaches that kind of get the most out of the least a lot of times, and they have good teams, but they really play so well. They elevate their team to elite levels.
Yeah, these are not star-studded teams either. Neither one of
No.
these clubs are basically.
No,
But
not at all.
I like how he's built this team. You know, we do have a unique rule in Autumn Wind that does allow running backs to play fullback, and that's another club here that's made a nice extended run here as a result of that rule. But I mean, that's the rule set that we have. You know, other leagues have that dump off pass. Some people like it, some people don't. I think our stats are a little skewed because we don't have that in this league, but it makes for, you know, a unique league, and you build your team around it accordingly. And by the way, I just noticed something. So John LaFleur, right? Did he pick the New Orleans Saints for the fleur-de-lis?
I couldn't tell you.
I wonder if he'll jump on the broadcast. We'll have to ask him. Maybe that's why he picked New Orleans. Has sort of a
Maybe.
French flair.
Yeah, he's been there for been that team for quite a while, so that'd be an interesting question though to throw at him.
Yeah, I think he took the New Orleans Saints because the Quebec Nordiques weren't an option.
Probably so. And here we have an end run by Jones for 5 yards, 52 seconds to play. And now it's 30 seconds to play. And I think we might just have a run out the clock here. I don't know if we'll see a pass. Might decide to run Allen, give Allen a chance to make up for that dreaded 5. Rick Byron, just one of the fine all-time oops coaches. There's another end run by Aaron Jones. And I think they might just let this run out the clock. No, we still have 15 seconds remaining. We had Claude on last couple of days ago, so it'd be nice to see if we can catch him. I don't know if he's watching or not. Maybe he and John could get on together.
Great run for Rick Byron's.
Yes, it was.
Great run.
And that division we were in with the Cleveland Browns 13-3, New Orleans 12-4. My Philadelphia team was 12-4, and New Orleans emerged, beat me twice, so I have nothing to complain about. They were a better team, better coach than I was.
Yeah, there was one, maybe two teams actually in that conference with 10 wins who didn't make it. So,
yeah, that was a very, very tough conference and division.
Hold on just 1 second, Dave. Let me send a message here to everybody.
Okay, go ahead. Final score: New Orleans Saints 22, Shreveport Steamer 10. And once again, New Orleans coached by Jean Lafleur and the Steamer coached by Rick Byron's. This is going to be, as Mike also said, it's going to be an all-Canadian Ooper Bowl. We'll see if we have that, and we'll try to get that broadcast to you. Michael Reeves does a great job of setting these up. Dennis Crowley helps out and adds his expertise. And it's really good that when we have any of you people that are watching, next time you're in the playoffs, join us after the game. It's kind of cool to see who we're matched up against. A lot of these times we enjoy the camaraderie over the internet, but it's good to see a face once in a while to these names. The time of possession was 37 minutes for and 26 seconds for New Orleans, and only 22 minutes for Shreveport. A 35.3 rating for Josh Allen.
Yeah, a lot of Strat coaches complain pretty vehemently, and here's the thing: I think the receivers were just slightly above average. Deshaun Jackson, I believe, is a 3.35, so it's not like you're going to get very much from Higbee. Higbee is a good receiver, so too is Thielen. It's weird. I think for Allen's card to be effective, you need a lot of help. I mean, but you also need to coax a lot of guessed wrong calls, and he just doesn't have that super guessed right card. It doesn't seem to take advantage of his legs. You have to run him more than the must run is going to benefit you. So I hope, like anything, that Strat catches up and creates an effective card. But I know so many owners of his card in different leagues just have a hard time negotiating him. But Rick was able to do it for 2 games. And I mean, honestly, to finish with a 12-7 record, that's pretty terrific. I'd love to see across the stratosphere with all the different draft leagues that take place, just to see if anybody was able to use Allen to take him to a championship or even win one with him. It's just a difficult card to navigate.
That's a good point, Michael. And also, the dramatic difference between right and wrong is we watched them play, especially this year with Buffalo. He does run, as a running back. I mean, it's not like some kind of a variation on their offense. He's part of their running offense. And you got to create a card that allows that. But you can't. You guess right, and that big critical play, he lost 8 yards on a guess right run.
Well, and you're right. He is his legs are basically a critical part of who he is. But I find it interesting that I guess he just didn't really want to utilize him that much in this contest. I don't know how many must runs he had. And of course, we're all looking at that one that was guessed wrong where he dialed up the dreaded 5, but he only carried the ball 5 times, and he gets a pretty – Nathan's on here. He probably knows how many must runs he gets, but I think how many end runs he's due, but it's a pretty fair amount, maybe like 8 or 9. I don't know if it's that high, but it's pretty close. And he only ran with him 5 times, whereas you can see, Aaron Jones with 80 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry. Gainwell with 8.5. I mean, it's real easy to sit there and look at these stats and later on, well, maybe if you would have done this and maybe you would have done that, but he really didn't choose to use him in a running capacity and was probably hoping for, well, if I don't hit on these guessed right gains, maybe I'll get lucky and hit some must runs, and he just never was able to run into one.
Yeah, and plus the score never really indicated that. He didn't have much. He really was under after that interception in the first period, that it was really an uphill battle for the Steamer.
Woo! Wow, what in the world was that? I turned the screen into something crazy there.
Yeah, I see it. It's a nice perspective, though, Michael.
Yeah. If any of you guys are on an acid trip here, does this remind anybody of the 60s? It doesn't appear that either one of the 2 coaches are going to join us. Nathan is here, but now I can't even find him.
Nathan, where are you?
Nathan is somewhere in the ether here. Wow, I don't know that I've ever seen this. Well, that's fascinating. Just think if we'd had this over halftime. All right. Well, yeah. It doesn't look like Rick is going to join us, so we'll probably just be able to close out the broadcast from here.
Okay.
Let me see if anybody sent me a note. Doesn't look like it. Nathan, I tried to find you to get some comments here, but I'm afraid I can't find you.
We miss you, Nathan. We miss you dearly.
We most certainly do, Nathan. Come back for the championship game.
Okay, well, thanks for inviting me, Michael. It was fun as usual.
Yes, it was. It certainly was. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So congratulations again, as we will have an all-Canadian final, not in proximity, but the coaches are both from Canada. That's Claude Turcotte and his Montreal Alouettes are going to be taking on the New Orleans Saints, coached by Gene LaFleur. Very soon we will post the game time and date, and we do hope you join us for the broadcast. Either join us live in the stream or join us on YouTube. We thank you so much for watching these videos. And again, if this is how I got into this game, was watching broadcasts like this from my good friends Dennis Crowley and Tom Cook, and it was a thrill tonight to work alongside, even if he's 3 states away, Dave Semensky, who is a longtime broadcaster himself and a longtime member of this Autumn Wind, a historian of the league. It was a thrill to bring this broadcast to you tonight, and we are certainly excited for a fantastic matchup between the number 1 team in the AFC facing off against the number 2 team in the NFC. A lot of similarities between these two teams. It's going to definitely be a defensive battle. So between me and you, bet the under. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and close down this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the replay. God bless everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you soon. Take care.